All right, here we are, live at 5 p.m. Kenya time, 2 p.m. Ghana time, 3 p.m. Morocco, 6 p.m. Dubai, 7:30 India, 10 a.m. New York, 7 a.m. in California. Every Wednesday, every week. This is Queen Mother Speaks, and I am your host, Ella Dashanaba King. Well, guess what? Today we're broadcasting the show from a place called the Sarova Pan Afrique Hotel in downtown Nairobi. We'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment. But our theme for this season is success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Courage, you see, my friend, is the secret sauce, the very secret sauce that allows you to act despite your fears. Let's give a shout out to Solo and Jennifer Sosu, Kathy King, Rosemary Johnson, and Marilyn Lewis tuning into the show from Florida. And the people in studio today. Okay, we were expecting our co-host Nana. She will not be with us today. The Queen Mother is going to tell you who is in studio today. But first, I want to give a shout out to Chantel, Bobby Paul, Lucy Mwangi in Kenya, Tali Moshe out of Israel, Haverly Prince, Reverend Virginia Miller, Pastor Michael Miller in Birmingham, Alabama, tuning in to the Queen Mother Street Show. You too can tune in right now just by clicking on facebook.com/Queen Mother Speaks. That's facebook.com Queen Mother Speaks or facebook.com/Arthur Teresa R. Kemp. We invite you to hit that like, share, comment button. We in the studio today, we do have a film producer, writer, plus our health and wellness coach who will also be presenting today. Let me go back to them. Okay, and bring them into the studio. All right, here we go. We're going to bring in the folks in the studio right now. Okay, so Coach, say hello.
Greetings, blessings, and salutations. I want to give a special shout out to my mom who's recuperating, who had major surgery. I also would like to give a shout out to my sister Marixa, who is also recuperating from a very severe major stroke. And a shout out to all those who are suffering in pain, and prayerfully they will be well soon. A shout out to the world.
All right,
Greetings.
thank you, sir.
Hello, everybody. I'm glad to be here. I'd like to give a shout out to my niece Onana, who's just had a kidney transplant and is recovering now. Wish her all the best. But I'm really glad to be here and looking forward to the show. Thank you.
All right, very well. We do have another in studio person, but look like they're not on the screen at the moment. So we're just going to go back to what we're doing today. We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. That is our guest who's in the studio today, and we'll be hearing from them in just a moment. Once again, I want to invite you to hit that like, share, comment button, and go to facebook.com/Queen Mother Speaks, and you can hear the show right now. Over to you, Coach. Over to you, Coach.
Our guest is back on, Queen. Okay, thank you, Queen. I am Raquiyah, the health and wellness coach, and I invite you to relax and ready for the awesome show. Hit the like and share button, the commentary button. Blessings to all your faithful fans out there. Atlanta Lady Mo, Abimbola, Tina Jones, Ernestine, Marie Powell, High Priestess Sasha, and Melissa Kemp, Harmon and Michelle. Continue to wash your hands, keep yourself safe, and be alert. We, we thank you for tuning in to Queen Mother Speaks, a safe space for information, inspiration, and expression. Bunga Dada Bunga, a new platform for women voices is here. Catch them every Thursday at 7 p.m. Facebook.com/Bunga Dada Bunga. Thank you for tuning in. Honorable Margaret Tolley, Shreya, Rose, Memori, Anju, Jay, Mwagi, Harita, Rose, Okaleo, Okaleo, Maurice, Obuyu, and Estelle from Kenya. What is Queen Mother Speaks? A community platform for wealthy conversations that matter, commentary and insights to raise awareness, inform, inspire, ignite, involve, enlighten, educate, laugh, updates on expatriating to Africa, words and news, worthy events, wisdom from the elders, warm, witty dialogue with guests, and a boutique of guests and win inspirational. Uh, so uh, back to you, Queen Mother. Queen Mother.
Oh, girl, you don't know what it's struggle. Getting stuff together. I don't even know where a purse is. I had to empty my. Thank you. Thank you, Raquiyah. Queen Mother coming back on the screen at this moment. Thank you very, very much. As stated, the Queen Mother Speak show is being done live from the Pan Afrique Sarova Hotel, downtown Nairobi. Now, why is that? That is because Queen Mother has guests from America right here in Kenya, and we're going to be talking to them. We're going to be filming them a little later. But right now, we're just going to go ahead with the program. All right, I'm just excited, and I want to know if the noise in the hotel is a little too loud. There's not very much we can do about it. This is what you do when you try to be in more than one place at one time. I also want to take a moment to say thank you to Binti, who is also in studio today. She'll be coming to us a little later on. You want to greet the studio audience, Binti?
Hi, everybody. Nice to
Thank
see
you.
you.
All right, very well. Okay, Queen Mother coming back into you loud and clear. We're going to go right on with the program. I'm super excited to be here at the hotel and to be with my friends, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful time. All right, so what I want to tell you right now is this, and that is, I'm trying to get to that point. Here we go, here we go. So now, from the Art of Living Institute, we had an online breathing session. This was sometime during pandemic, but since that time, we have incorporated breathing into our meditation moment. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to breathe in 3 times. Here's how it works. Breathe in through your nose to the count of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold your breath to the count of 6 and release slowly, 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 slowly to the count of 10. You got it? Guests in the studio, please join the breathing session with us. Once again, we're going to breathe in through the nose to the count of 6. Going to hold to the count of 6 and then exhale. Release through the nose to the count of 10. Are we ready? Are we ready? Thank you.
Ready.
Let's go. Here we go. Going to breathe in. Very slowly release. Okay, let's do the second. Breathe in through your nose. Let's go. 1, release. Okay, we're going to try one more. And here we go. Breathe in. 1, hold, and release. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I trust that you touch your inner peace during that breathing session because breathing can help you reduce stress by increasing your oxygen exchange which in turn reduces your blood pressure. It will slow the heart and release any tension that you may be holding in your abdomen. These are just some of the physical benefits of breathing, but you also get mental benefits from breathing. Concentrating on your breath can bring you into the present and to a state of mindfulness. Okay, in this moment, we're now going to go to our meditation reading. I'm going to repeat the topic 3 times. You listen with an open heart. I yield to breaking open. I yield to breaking open. I yield to breaking open. One of the many processes of revealing the face of God is by being open for love to shine through. It is helpful to allow our hearts to break open during unprecedented times like the one that we are currently growing through. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. This may seem counterintuitive. However, to consciously allow for our hearts to open and break open is to choose to be loving healers dedicated to healing hearts. I take a deep breath and tune into spirit. I listen to what is mine to do. I am obedient to the insight I receive. With a grateful heart and an open heart, I surrender to what arises. I know that divine order is guiding me right now, and I lead with love. I heal as I grow, and I have nothing to fear, for God is with me. Thank you, order in me, through me, as me, around me, through the Christ within. And so it is. These words are taken from Daily Thoughts from the Hill, from Hillside Chapel and Truth Center, Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Okay, so thank you for that. Right now, we're going to invite our co-host Ra to introduce to our featured guest for today. Coach?
Thank you, Queen Mother, for that awesome meditation and breathing exercise. I have the distinct pleasure of introducing Cajetan boy. Comes to Queen Mother's feet. He has served as a secretary committee, member of the ordinary member of the Kenyan Scriptwriters Guild, product development, leader of Etc. Productions Ltd, an independent production company, and mentor screenplay writers of Maisha Film Lab. He's also the founder and administrator of the Write It Out Tools, No Rules, and Quotation WhatsApp platform. It was set up on the 3rd of August 2020, and to date we have over 350 participants drawn from the East African region. It equips screenwriters with skills and knowledge that enables them to supply content by offering affordable and easy solutions on where to learn, share, and solve problems that are script related or model in quotations, tools, not rules, guides and process. Guides the process with a wide range of production skills, including writing, directing, producing, set design, art design, costume design, prop management, and casting. Cajetan's career objectives are to use his skills and knowledge to improve himself and others in the creative industry. He also aims to nurture young talent and help them produce high quality stage plays, movies, and TV programs. His career aspiration is to see the Kenyan creative industry achieve international standards. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, welcome Cajetan.
All
Cajetan,
right. We are very pleased to have you in the show today. We're very pleased to have you here, sir. I don't know where to start. Uh, outside of the fact that the man is just so fine. Ladies, let's just acknowledge that. But let me thank you for being on the Queen Mother Speak Show. I hope you don't mind me saying that you're fine, because Queen Mother, after turning 70, I think I can say some of the things I want to say. And one of the things I want to say is to acknowledge just how fine you are. And we've had some time together, but we're going to get there in just a moment. One of the very first questions that I want to ask you is, as a Kenyan born artist, did your schooling prepare you to work in this arena?
Well, no, not to work, because it's just recently that the creative sector is being taken as a job, being taken seriously. So there was no, while going through school, there was no kind of training to really prepare you for the industry. You do the basic training in terms of acting, maybe a bit of writing, a bit of stage management, but not the, I call the professional side. Nothing to do with contracts, nothing about how to deal with clients, nothing about how to deal with each other, so to speak.
I see, I see. So, have you also been an actor yourself before stepping behind the camera? And when did you know that the arts would actually be your field in life?
Oh, well, okay, I'll answer. Well, let me start with the second question first. I always had
Okay.
an interest. My dad used to work in the at the theater, the Fox Theater, the Fox Cinemas. Was a manager at the Fox Cinemas, and because of that, I had a chance to watch a lot of movies when I was growing up. But at that time, I never really did think that I'd become a writer or a filmmaker. It was just something I enjoyed doing. Then later on in
Uh-huh.
school, I also figured out I had a knack for writing. I was not too shabby in writing essays and short stories. So again, I was not too bad. I was not too bad at that. But again, I didn't think about it as something I could do professionally. I actually studied
Uh,
agricultural engineering. Is what I studied professionally. I studied agricultural engineering. But when I finished my course, there were no jobs, and I was kind of jobless for a while. And then I got to read about a project. This is the late 80s, early 90s. It was called the Mujiza AIDS Cup Project, where we would go and act short plays about HIV/AIDS, and then have educational sessions with the audience about the pandemic. So that's how I got into what I call professional creativity. And I began as an actor. So I was primarily an actor doing all those scripts. And then at one time we were challenged as the actors
uh-huh.
if we're interested in doing any writing. And I decided that I'll try my hand at writing. So from then on, I did a couple of one-act plays, and then I moved on to full-length plays. And then after a while, for me as a writer, it was a bit tough. When you write a stage play, it takes you maybe 2, 3, 4 months to write it, and then it's
Uh-huh.
performed by one group. It's performed by one group, and all other groups don't want to perform it because they want to perform fresh material. So you find something you've worked on for about
Mhm.
4 months is performed at that time. It's about 14 shows, and that's the end of it. So I began thinking about how to give more longevity to my products, and then so that's how I got into film. And I basically got trained through going for workshops, attending shoots with other people. Basically, a kind of an apprenticeship is what was my training for film.
We're going to talk about the Write It Out program that you do in a moment. I wanted you to tell us about some of the shows that you've worked on. We know you've directed, you've written, you've co-written, you've scripted, movies, TV shows. Tell us about some of the things you've done.
Well, talking about movies, the latest movie I would say that is known is a movie called Mission to Rescue. It's
Uh-huh.
Kenya's first military movie. I was a co-writer on that. Um, I've done several movies for Mnet. Uh, I also did a couple of TV shows. I've been a head writer on TV shows. Basically, I've been a head writer on TV shows. The Team, Sumbula Penzi, Block D, several TV shows. Um, yeah, there's a number of shows I've been on. Yeah.
Very well, very well. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I met Cajetan through his Write It Out program. It's an online writing program. I have several books that I'm ready to put into the world. And he, in fact, is my writing coach. And we also invited some of the other students in his class to be on the show with us today. But right now, I want him to tell us about that Write It Out program. I know our host talked about it a little bit, but we want to hear it from you.
Well, the genesis of the program was that the realization that there isn't much mentorship that happens in the industry. And if you're not fortunate enough to be able to go into an institution where you can learn about film-based issues formally, a lot of people just don't know where to get the information from. So we were trying to think of a way where we can share information about filmmaking, but particularly script writing, make it accessible to people. And that's when we had the idea of a WhatsApp group, whereby we share tips. And when people have questions, they can ask the admin, and they also give topics that they want us to discuss. So that was the whole genesis. And when we began, we didn't think it would grow that fast. It would grow. It would be so have so many people as we have right now, or exist for this long. But it's been growing and it's been going on, and actually it's even raised to another offshoot to what we are calling the Chapsetra mentorship program, where we have now a mentorship program that is a physical based program where we actually take people through almost all the processes of making a movie from idea to the screenplay to the screening of the movie.
Hmm. All right. So I know that also that currently you are working with script writers. But what about those of us who want to write books?
Uh, well, what I'd say is that I could be helpful. I am helpful in some respects when it comes to book to novel writing, because when we talk about novels and scripts, there's certain elements in all that are the same in all stories. There's certain elements that are the same in all stories. The difference is in the nuts and the bolts. So when it comes to basically think about your idea, developing your idea, uh, bulletproofing your idea, making sure that it works, those are elements that I can help you with as a novelist or as any kind of writer. But when it comes down to the actual editing of a novel, I might not be very helpful in that. In fact, I'm working on my first novel, a sci-fi book, and it's quite a different experience from writing a screenplay, other than the common elements that they have in terms of protagonist
Ah,
conflict and stuff like that.
okay, very well, very well. We took the liberty to invite another one of your students to come into the show with us today. Let's open up and let her come in and also say hello. Her name is Binti.
Hello, everybody. I hope you can hear me okay. Great to see you, Cajetan. We rarely get to speak to him because, as a mentor, he says, use the tool of the craft. We have to write out all of our questions, and that makes us or helps us and makes us to be very precise in what it is that we're asking. And it's
Wow.
hard. But I want to say that I took courtesy Queen Mother, actually. It's Queen Mother who told me about the Cajetan virtual screenwriting course, and we were in fact to do it together, and she abandoned me, and I was like, what? What am I supposed to do? I had no idea that we were expected to write a screenplay. I thought we were going to just, hear about screenwriting, what it entails, and all of that. And I was like, what? You mean I actually have to work? But it
Yeah.
was, I recommend the course to anyone, and not only screenwriting. I think through Cajetan's guidance. Well, okay. Let me confess one thing. He made a comment that I write like a novelist. So I was like, oh, thank you. And he said, no, that's not how we write in screenwriting. So, but the elements, I mean, when you learn to be like very precise about description, the characters, describing the characters and the scenes, and I think it actually really helps when you go to write a novel how to be more on point with that as well.
Ah,
So not only, I mean, maybe your major focus may not be um, screenwriting, but I think the way that Cajetan does his course, I think you can learn a lot for any kind of writing that you want to do. Thank you, mentor.
ah. So there, as you can see, she's been in the class. Girlfriend is script writing. She actually has a script that she's writing at this time. Queen Mother's looking forward to getting back into the writing class. So now, Cajetan, what is the word? What is the take-home word that you will leave with those who want to write books and those who want to do script writing? What is your take-home advice to them? Unmute. Unmute.
My take home advice is
Yeah.
yes. My take home advice is first you have to start, because if you don't start, you keep on second guessing yourself. You keep on thinking you'll never get there. You keep on thinking it's all in your head. So nothing ever moves. One, you have to start. And then once you start, you have to be consistent. You have to try and be consistent and write as much as possible, as often as possible. And also, depending on what you are writing, you also need to read the same kind of material. If you're
Mhm.
writing screenplays, you need to look for screenplays to read. If you're writing novels, read novels. If you're writing journals, read journals, because that is the way you get like to know the different approaches to handle different issues and the different approaches taken by different writers. So I'll just say, uh, start, be consistent, read.
Very good, very good. I know that I am looking forward to being in the writing class. I'm just so looking forward. And here's one of the things I found out, Kajitan. There are a lot of expatriates coming to Kenya, and many of them also. Well, we all have a story, right? Everyone
Sure.
has a story. So I am hoping that from this show, some of those who are watching will come and join your class when you open up the next writing class to work with them to get their
Sure.
stories out. Some of them just happen to be seniors, okay? Some of them just happen to be seniors, but they've got fantastic stories. And I will say to you that Miss Selma, who's someone I've been introducing to you, she's tuning into the show. She says hello to you, and she too is looking forward to being in your class. Looking
Thank you.
forward
If
to
I
being
may say
in. All
something,
right.
uh, um, um, it was mentioned at the beginning that I've mentored at the Maisha Film Lab. The Maisha Film Lab have a slogan. Their slogan is, if we don't tell our stories, nobody else will. And I think it's very important for us to tell our stories. And that's one of the reasons also that I'm really into mentorship, because I feel it is important to give as many people as possible the basic tools for us to tell our stories our way. Somebody else will come and tell them in their way, which will be totally different.
Ah, I see, I see, I see. So we're very happy to have you on the Queen Mother Speak show. And what I would like to do on one of the shows, with your permission, would be for you to invite 3 to 4 of your students into the studio as well, and take us through maybe 10 or 15 minutes of how you work with them and how you
Sure
inspire
thing.
them, how you pull out a character, how you pull out a setting, how you pull out from them a scene, how you get their minds to flowing. I like to literally do a show like that on the Queen Mother Speak show.
Sure
Is that
thing. That would
something
be
we might
great.
be able to
Yes.
do? Yes?
Yes, that would be
Very
great.
good, very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to invite Kajitan back to the Queen Mother Speak show. as we're now stating. And right now, here's how you can be in touch with him and his work. For Facebook, etc. Productions, etc. Productions. For Instagram, go to Cajetan Producer, Cajetan Producer, two words, pretty much lowercase together. All right, and for Twitter, go to Cajetan Boy, Cajetan Boy. And I'm going to spell that Cajetanboy. That's how you can just, right now, you can go and Google him right now if you like at any of those sites. We'll put that back up on the screen again in just a moment. Right now, we got to go to another section of the program. Now, the next person, thank you, sir. The next person that we have in studio today, who we're going to be presenting, is none other than our own co-host, Raquiyah. So I am pleased to present to some of you and introduce to others our very own co-host and expert facilitator, Raquiyah Murphy. She is the eldest of 10 children, born in Panama, a country that is loved and that she visits often. She attended the University of Detroit, Michigan, then completed her bachelor's at Rhode Island College in Providence, Rhode Island. Coach Ra went on and began her master's degree at University of Michigan, and she does consider herself a lifelong student. Date, she has 7 beautiful children, 5 daughters, 2 sons, and now, some 40 years later, 7 grandchildren. She's an educator who's taught Spanish for over 35 years. Coach Ra is gaining recognition globally as a health and wellness coach, the herbalist educator, learning to speak Spanish. That's right. She'll be teaching Spanish and we'll be doing some of her Spanish courses. You'll find out more about that where you can register and learn Spanish. She does the diabetes, high blood pressure health advisor, and she's also a co-host here on the Queen Mother Speak Show. She performs acupressure massages that releases some of the toxins from the meridians of the body. She will walk with her clients through a 30-day or less detoxification system on how to retard disease or eradicate them, all through adopting a plant-based eating lifestyle. A plant-based eating lifestyle. Now, Coach is going to come on and talk to us about that. And again, we're very happy to have her here. We love the fact. I wonder, can you hear anything on my end? Can you hear from my end? Because again, I'm at the Sarova Pan Afrique Hotel, and it's getting a little noisy because people are coming in. Can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but
Do
there's a
you hear
lot
the
of
noise in the
noise in the
background?
background. Yeah, it's
Okay.
okay.
They told
It's
me they were
okay.
giving me a quiet place in the hotel, but apparently they don't know quiet. Coach Rob, we're going to bring you in right now.
Okay. Uh, Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Um, it is with a heavy heart that I come to you, and I'm really going to try to explain to you what is going on and why we as a people must really pay attention to our bodies. We must really pay attention to our organs, and we must really change our ways as to how we have been taught to process information and customs and morals and what we eat and how we eat. None of that is valid in 2023. None of that evidently proved not to be valid in 2020 when uh, the coronavirus was placed upon us, and we found ourselves in a very uh, complicated situation where many of us died. Today, I'm going to give you the 10 pointers of why we should detoxify. Last week we spoke about the immune system. We spoke about the lymph nodes. We spoke about the five vital critical organs of the body. And the reason why we must detoxify is because based upon what we eat, there is 8 to 25 pounds of fecal matter that remains in the upper and lower colon of the body. And you can go and research it if you like. But this is a evidence. And these are things that you don't know. Your body tells you because right after you eat, some of us become sluggish, some of us become sleepy, and some of us can't even move because we have actually sat at the table and consumed an insurmountable amount of food. Secondly, we do not need all that we think that we need. We do not need what we've been told that we need. We do not need 3 meals a day. The only time that I would see that we really need 3 meals a day is if you're doing hard labor, like the truckers, you're in the farm workers, hard, hardiest heavy work. That's when you would need probably perhaps 3 meals a day. Anyway, detoxification entails that you take some herbs. Um, it's going to take 8 hours for it to work. You're going to be home because you're about to clean yourself out. A detox is like an oil change. It's going to go in your system and it's going to eradicate the parasites, the worms, the toxic buildup. If you have excessive cholesterol in your body, is going to go through your arteries and clean out your arteries. If you have gallstones, it's going to remove your gallstones. If you have kidney stones, it will remove it naturally through the herbs and the combination that Dr. Paul Goss has put together. And I know it doesn't seem realistic, but I have done this detox over and over again since the 90s, since I was introduced to it. I have been practicing and following the directives of Dr. Paul Goss, a biochemist, and his CKLS is one of the number one top sellers in the United States for detoxifying the five critical organs of the body. I do include the heart, the colon, the kidney, the liver, and the spleen. And these days, it appears that this is where a lot of us are having some challenges in our bodies. Why should we detoxify? Number one, to remove the toxins and parasites from the body. Number two, to enhance your immune system and your lymphatic system. Listen. Number three, to prevent chronic diseases. And you can only get a disease if your body has built up excessive mucus, which now leads to inflammation, and inflammation then leads to disease. No disease can coexist in an alkaline environment. What do you mean, coach? An alkaline environment. If your body is a pH of 7 or more, there is no way that any disease can coexist in your body. So there's a strip that you test your saliva, and it will tell you whether your body is acidic or alkaline. If your body is acidic, there is a possibility that you will develop some form of challenge. And I call it a challenge because your body is a miraculous instrument and your body can heal itself if you help it. One of our major challenges in America is that we have turned away from that which we know. We have turned away from our spirit self, our God self, and we have decided, some of us, to do things the way we want to do it, as opposed to following order. Life is a science, and there's order. There are rituals, morals, and processes and routines that we must follow. And you can deviate for a minute, but you must always work at creating a delicate balance. It's a very delicate balance in maintaining optimal health, overall well-being, and particularly if you're self-healing, then all that you've done that has gotten you to that position ought to tell you intrinsically, common sense ought to tell you that everything that I've been doing so far has not worked. And that means that you need to abandon ship, jump ship, and turn towards another approach.
Uh-huh.
Number four, when you do a detox, you lose anyway, you lose weight. You will lose weight because, of course, by you getting rid of the fecal matter that's sitting in your stomach, you're going to see a change, an immediate change, the same day change after 8 hours. Waste lies with your lies within your lower and higher or lower and large your large and lower intestine. Example: protruding stomach, skin breaks out, etc. These are signs that your system, your colon, is not able to break down the toxins in your body, and thus it utilizes the other systems, your skin, to show you that something is wrong. So if you're breaking out, and if you have eczema and acne and all these other challenges, then something is going on within your organs that you must pay attention to. But the doctors wouldn't tell us that, right? Uh, Detoxification restores balance of the body systems, and it balances one's equilibrium. And so after you detoxify, it balances your system and puts everything back into place. And so just when I'm talking or speaking, imagine when you take your car to get an oil change, and the car, after you've done the oil change, the car runs more effective, right? Everything sounds smooth, everything is quiet. Then imagine the same thing when you decide to do the detox. Number six, it makes your skin shine. It restores your skin because it has went in there and cleaned out all the toxins. It stops and slows premature aging. Before, we used to say that it retards 20 years of the aging process, and I'm afraid that um, the FDA got after Dr. Goss, and so we had to change the lingo. But literally, after you've done the detox, you will look younger. Everything on your body will be shining. Your hair, your eyes, your neck, everything. Number eight, it balances your mental and emotional stability, and it brings you clarity. You're able to think clearer. It defogs you. Number seven, it increases your energy. You're going to be bouncing all over the place because all the excessive waste and toxins buildup and parasites that was in your system weighing you down has been cleared out. And so, of course, you're going to be energetic and you're going to feel definitively different, healthier. Number 10, and the male and the woman are listening and they're going to love this. It increases the libido for both men and women. If this is not enough reasoning, results for you to decide to do a detoxification system process, then truly I don't know what else to advise you. Uh,
Well,
the number one cleansing and detoxification system created in North America by a brilliant African man full of wisdom, intelligence, and a gifted healer. Brains, Dr. Paul Goss, our Ashe, because passed 2 years ago from us, and he's with us with an ancestral land. Ashe, Ashe. I hope
okay.
that he's satisfied with me. But when I took the class with Dr. when I took the class with Dr. Paul Goss, every answer, every question that he asked, the answer was detox. For every ailment that existed, or we would ask a question on, the solution was a detoxification system. And I don't think that many of us truly understand what the detoxification system is, what it does, and what you can achieve. And I am here to let you know that it will, for one thing, that it will prevent you from being is codependent upon big pharma. That's the one thing. Number two, it will reduce your pressure, your blood pressure. And so at my age, and I'm not going to say my age anymore, if you've been on here, then you would know I do not take any medication or any over the counter drugs, nothing. If there's something wrong with me, then I know that I need to take my herbs. Uh, I need to take my empowering immune builder herbs. I know what to do. And if I do not know what to do, then I know whom to call. And of course, you will call those who have mentored you if you get stuck. And many a times when my brothers and sisters and my mom got sick, I did call on Dr. Goss. And mind you, they sent my mom home in 2019 and told her to go home and sit in the garden and smell the roses. And so they had really uh, dismissed my mom. And the reason they did that was because we refused for them to experiment in my mom, because they could not give us any guarantee that if my mom went through this experimentation, was she going to live? And so I suggested to my mom that she become plant-based. And she did. But like everybody else, after she began to feel better, she retorted to her old ways. And that's a choice that we all make. And I cannot make you do anything. I can only, excuse me, sorry about that. I can only inform, I can only present the information, I can only share the resources with you, and hope that in my voice you will hear my plea to please turn away from your old wicked ways, and adopt some radical atomic habits, and stop telling yourself, playing these old records about what you need and what you got to do, because half of the stuff that you think you need and half of the stuff that you believe you have to do are serving you no purpose. And self-healing is tantamount. Self-preservation is a law. Longevity is our gift. Sustainability is our hope for the future. So now we go into, do I have time to go into um, the solution?
How long? How
Um,
much time?
okay, so I'm gonna cut this really, really short and pick it up
Okay,
on
go right
next
ahead.
week. The
Okay.
first leading cause of death, is the second. The first leading cause of death in America is stress. The second leading cause is heart um, heart attacks. The third in America is intentionally is prescriptive
Prescription.
prescriptive prescriptive medication. Did you hear this? The third leading cause of death in America is prescriptive medication. You see, the
Wait, what
doctor
was the
would
number
give you
one? What was the number one cause?
stress,
Stress.
stress. The second is heart attacks,
Got it. And the third is the prescription drug.
prescriptive medication,
Wow. Wow.
along with cancer and some other diseases. But let me say this: um, my mom was taking heart medication since she was like 20 years ago, and the very medication that she was taking uh, shot out her kidney,
Mm.
and that's a fact. The medication, and it tells you on the packet. A lot of people
Mm.
do not read the contraindications of your medications, but it tells you right there. And even on TV, when they announce certain medication for this and for that, and then they right away they put in the clause, but it can cause, but it may cause. And
Mm.
so some of us may need medication, but we may need it as a temporary situation. I don't believe that medication was created for ongoing long-term use. The medication only deals with the situation and not the symptoms. What created the symptoms? It just deals with the immediate of easing your pain or, you know, making you comfortable. But yet the symptoms still remains. And I hope that you understand that. Medication is not going to eradicate the symptoms. What happened? How did it happen? And what is it that I must do to alter that, to prevent that? Those are some of the questions that we should be gearing towards, that we're not trained. We're not trained to think that way because we have been convinced somehow that the medications is going to solve the problem. But it is only a temporary solution to a long term, ongoing, symptomatic situation. I hope that you hear this. So you have to do more. You have to do more. And I'm not saying don't see your doctor. I have never advocated not to see your doctor, not to do your due diligence. But what I am advocating is this, is that you begin to think for yourself and that you begin to do some dig into doing your homework and really take a look at what is going on at the present time in 2023. Secondly, I want to bring this to you right now. It is predicted by the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, that in 2025, there will be 65% of the American population would experience renal failure. I hope you hear me. And that there will not
Mm.
be enough dialysis machines or dialysis centers to contain the amount of people that's going to require dialysis. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you? And 5 out of 10 people in the African American community suffers from diabetes. The longer you have diabetes, the more damage that is being caused to your colon, kidney, liver, spleen, heart. Most importantly, to your heart and your kidney. That's what I've experienced. And the next, not I don't know when, but I will explain to you exactly what is going on when your numbers, right? Your A1 numbers are high. What is really going on with your heart and the blood in your body? When your A1 numbers are high, when they're over 200, your blood is like a pace, and the oxygen is fighting. Your heart is overworking. The oxygen is fighting to go through your blood vessels that is almost like pace. We're 85% water. We're 92, the heart is 92% water. So just imagine for a second what is really going on in your body that is practically made up of water. Listen, and now the oxygen cannot flow through your body to your brain down to your feet. We'll get back to that in another. But the reason why I am taking my time today is because I feel like some of us are just not getting it.
Yeah.
And it's almost nearing Christmas time. And here we go again. Here we go again. With the potato salad, macaroni and cheese, the ribs, the pig feet, the this, the that. Brothers and sisters, that is not the way to go. I don't care what holiday is going on. If you're going to even partake of that, one, because your body, it takes 7 days to break down a steak, a piece of steak. It takes 7 days to break down into your colon, to break down in your body. And so
Well, we hear you, Coach, and I don't know if we can actually say it enough times. It's sort of like, if you ask me, it's sort of like the when you go to church, no matter what country or city you may go to, there's always someone there telling you about religion, telling you about accepting Jesus into your heart. Some people hear it, and some people don't. And I think it's the same with this information that we're putting out right now.
well, the
Some
main,
people will
the
hear it,
main,
and some
the
people won't
main
hear it.
ones,
So we can't say it enough times.
the main ones that I want to hear, that I want them to hear, are the ones that are suffering with preconditioned diseases. If you have a preconditioned disease, then I urge you to change your ways and do something about it, because you have the power. It's your will, and you can alter your body. You can change the trajectory of your health if you make a decision, a choice. If you change your habits, it can be done. And
All
I have
right.
proven it over and over again. Case in point, my mom. Case in point, some of my sisters. Case in point, I mean friends. You know, I had a cousin that was the doctor scheduled her for hysterectomy. And I said to her, nah, that's not what we're doing here. I said, Your womb is your power source. That's your power. Why would you have the doctor? Well, he said that I had fibroids. I said, could you give me 6 weeks? And would you promise to do this? And I gave her the herbs and I instructed her what to do and also asked her to read a couple of books. And when she went to the doctor after 2 months, there were no fibroids.
All right.
And so I am not speaking on the whim. No, I'm not a medical doctor, but I am an herbologist, and I was trained by the top-notch biochemists, herbalists in the country.
All
And he
right.
was even locked up. They took his passport. He couldn't travel. He went through a lot of duress. And that's why I try to be very careful in what I say, how I say it, because I most certainly do not want to attract any trouble to me. But I am
Understood.
saying to our people, if they listen, that we must return to being obedient and we must change that which is not working. And I'll close with
Uh-huh.
that and pick up next week. Thank you so much.
Well, we thank you so much for that, Coach. We are right at the 6 o'clock hour. This is Queen Mother Speaks. We're just going to give you a few announcements today. Soul Vegetarian Restaurant, good to you and good for you. To order, call 0742 654 810. And they also have cooking classes to teach you how to cook good. Lucille's Kitchen, sweet potato pie, and other mouth-watering treats. Call 0732 567 327. And guess what? The creator of Lucille's Kitchen is here in the house with us today. And let's see if she's got another word she would like to say.
Yeah, actually, I'll just say that Lucille's Kitchen, I call it art, artisan, down home artisan baking. It is not pretty baking, but it is delicious baking. And Lucille's Kitchen will be at the Junubin Market at Yaya on the rooftop September 30th and October 1st, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Hope
Okay,
to see you there.
give us that information again.
Junubin Market at Yaya rooftop September 30th and October 1st, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Okay, and she has given us a flyer about that, which we'll be posting on the Queen Mother Speak show. We're not going to go through all of our announcements right now, but one of the things I would like to say simply is this, and that is on next week for our guests, we will have a young man by the name of Dennis Mbungwa. Dennis is with a company called Star Technologies. He happens to be a young man who was in one of my classes at USIU, who stepped into the world and become a businessman. We're happy to have him on the show next week. We will also have a writer on the show next week. All right. She'll be coming into us and talking to us about her writing, what she's done, and how much she's looking forward to being in Cajetan's very next class. During the show, Cajetan, I've had about six people. I've had about six people who wants to know the date for the next writing class. So I told them to send us their email and that we will also be posting it on the Queen Mother Speaks show. So they will know about that. Coach, thank you once again for your informative information. I tell you, it is something when you take on life, something when you take on life. And when you take on life, you become interested in changing those things in your life that's not working for you. And so that's what she's talking about, taking on changing your life and having a better quality of life. And one of these days, we're going to have a cooking class right on the show. Somebody sent me a recipe for mushrooms with chili and cheese. And I was wondering what kind of cheese that was. But I do know that portobello mushrooms is like eating meat because that's what Queen Mother does. Listen, this is Queen Mother Speaks every Wednesday, every week, live at 5 p.m. Kenya time, 3 p.m. Ghana time, 10 a.m. New York time, 7 a.m. California time, 4 a.m. Hawaii time. And guess what? We do have people tuning into the Queen Mother Speak show from Hawaii. Once again, we thank you for being with us today. And we're going to end the show the way we always do, which is with a kiss. I want to take a moment and just say and apologize for the fact that we're having so much noise in the background. I'm going to ask everybody in studio today to come back again because the noise may have been too great for everyone to get the point. So we'll pre-record and then we'll play it on another show. Cajetan, thank you for that. Binti, thank you. Coach, thank you. So let's end the way we always end, and we end the show by sending love into the world. And the way we do that is we take our left hand, watch me, watch me, watch me. We take the left hand and blow a kiss, the right hand blow a kiss, in both hands and blow a kiss. And as we're blowing this kiss, I'm going to ask everyone in the studio to really put your heart into it because you don't know where that kiss is going to land. And you don't know who needs that love right now. So let's give away some love in the world. Ready? Here we go. Okay. Right hand. I can't hear your kisses. One more. Here we go. Mwah. We love you. We appreciate you. And we thank God for you. This is Queen Mother Speaks. See you next week at 5. Have a great day.
Bye, everybody.